Apple's version of Word or Google Docs is called Pages. Pages has these great templates built into it where students can create or author their own books. And so I'm going to do just a quick tutorial on how to create a book or book template and then export it into iBooks or Apple Books. So we're going to start by opening Pages. Now, everything that you see, I'm just using my iPad for this demonstration, but everything that I'm doing you'll be able to do on a Mac, and it's almost exactly in the same spot on a Mac. And I'm just going to create a new document. As I scroll down, you can see all the different templates. Now there are two types of books. There's the portrait book, and that is more for if it's going to be a very text-heavy book. So if if kids are creating books that have a ton of text and not as much media, then portrait's the one for you. Or landscape. So the landscape view, you can just see how that's different, and it's more suited towards if you're going to use a lot of pictures, some video. And that's the thing about these templates, is you can add just about anything into your books. So I'm going to start by just choosing the Elephants in the Wild book, and you'll see the template pop up right away over here. And this works on the Mac as well. You'll see all of the pages. Down here is where I can create a new page, and I'll show you the different types of pages that you can create. And then up here you have your menu options. So let's start by taking a look at what they already have built in. So when you notice a picture, everything's just a placeholder in these books. And so down here, right hand side, you see that plus sign. Do I want to add a video, take a photo? I can choose from my Photos app, or I can actually take a photo or video, or I can bring it in from somewhere else, like in the Files app. But I'll just say choose. My Photos pops up, and here's a different picture of an outline. So now it's really that simple. One of the things that I would advise is, to the best of the student's ability, if they could keep the same layout as Pages already has set, then their book is going to look a lot nicer. And so kind of in the same way that we added a picture, we also can add text. So if I come down to a text box, tap on it, and then double tap, and now I can just start typing. Okay. Now, one of the things, especially when you're on an iPad, that you'll notice is when students go to swipe up on the page, sometimes they'll tap something like a text box and the page won't swipe, and they'll move their text box or their picture or whatever they tapped on. So they're trying to swipe up on the page, but that doesn't work. They start moving a text box. One of the things that I would suggest is just always keep in mind and remind your students that the undo button is up here, and you can just always undo that last action. And so it's simple enough to add text. One of the other things I really like about these book templates is the idea that it is best if you have all of your typing done ahead of time, have all your pictures already in your photos, so all the front loading, the pre-planning gets done, and then copy and paste and have fun inside of the document itself. So there we can add text. We saw how we can add pictures. Let's add a new page. Clicking on the bottom, I'm just going to create a blank page and show you some of the things that you're able to add. So if I go up into the plus sign, this is just like Keynote and just like anything else Apple has. So when I hit add and then the media button, I can grab photos, I can open up my camera, I can actually record audio. So if I want to read this to students, what will happen is on every page in the upper right hand corner will show up, or wherever I put the button will show up for the recording, and they can just tap that button and it'll get read for them. We can add from YouTube or Vimeo. Then I like this one as well. Kids can add an image gallery. So I can make that nice and big, and then you see the plus sign on the lower right hand side, and I'm going to choose some photos, and then it brings this up, and I can just choose as many photos as I want. Now that'll take a long time to load in, or not a long time, but more time than I want to take now. But all those photos will load up, and you can just swipe from left to right and go through all of the photos in that image gallery. And let's add one more thing. So here's another blank page. The other cool thing that you can add is a drawing right here. And so let's add a picture like this. And now I'm going to make that picture nice and big. Now I know this isn't a drawing yet, but so here's my elephant. Now let's say I want to draw it. So I've highlighted this picture. If I click the paintbrush in the upper right hand side, right here, and I want to drop the opacity. And now what I can do is I can tap the plus sign. I'm going to add a drawing. And so whether you have a stylus or like the Logitech crayon or Apple Pencil or just your finger, now I can add this drawing, start to trace over the elephant. Then I would do this. I won't take too much time here. But then what I can do is as soon as I get finished or close to finished, I can delete the picture behind and I'm left with my drawing. So tap on the picture, tap again, hit delete, and now I have that drawing. So I could have finished that tracing. So there's so many things that you can add to these books. It's really, the kids are only limited by their imagination. So the last thing I want to show you quickly is actually two things. One, if I tap at the very top and in the middle where it says Report To, I can rename my book. And then in the upper right-hand side of the screen where it's the dots, 3 dots with a circle around it, I can export it. So some pretty neat options. One, if the kids don't have media like like movies or the slideshow or anything like that, you could export it to a PDF and pretty much send it anywhere. You can export these to Word. Sometimes there's a formatting issue with that, so it may not look exactly the same. I really like the idea of EPUB, because EPUB is kind of the common language for all e-readers. And so I can rename, I can change like the first page as my book cover, I can export it, and then I can send it to lots of places. So one of the places I can send it is to my library, my books library. And there's my new book. Open up, and I can kind of just swipe through the pages. Okay, or we can go back into Pages, and we could also send this EPUB, or if it's a PDF, whatever you made it, right into Google Classroom or up to Google Drive. I could also airdrop it to my teacher in the room. The other thing I'd like to show you is that if we hit export again, not export, I'm sorry, but if we look here, that you would have to do some setting up, but we've had multiple kids in 6th grade actually have their work published to Apple Books. So you need what's called an iTunes Connect account, but you can actually, kids could send you their books and then you could publish their work up in the Apple Bookstore. It's pretty neat. Okay, so that's the book templates and Pages. Have fun with it. Thanks.